Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of Adventures in Arcane Space. I am your Dungeon Master, and the players today are...
Hi, I'm back. I'm Captain Higgimus, and I completely lost my train of thought. I'm a Giff fighter. There.
Not even got a rank.
He
Yeah,
said
no,
captain.
yeah, he's a captain.
Yeah, but beside that,
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. Ha. By about 4 people. I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon, who's the first officer.
Hi, I'm Daikami-sama and I play Solas Abebha, who is a half-elven cleric priest. Cleric mage.
Hey, I'm James. I play Ockar, human paladin from Brawl.
Hi, I'm Kiji-kun. I play Sinrae and I am a courier.
Hi, I'm Levalithana, an elven wild mage.
Hi, I'm Zakad. I play the multi-class specialty priest and thief. I don't really have a title. I did have earlier on. Something to do with plants.
You need to write these down or something.
Yeah, I had all these awesome spell ideas I keep forgetting throughout the course of the week.
Did you write it down and leaf it somewhere?
Boo.
See, I just don't even acknowledge them.
Well, we left off last time right after a combat session.
Yeah, just before the treasure.
You mean half of it got destroyed? The fireballs.
Lovely fireballs.
I mean, you know, it might have.
Fireballs.
I mean, there was only one fireball.
Well, there
They're
was
only-
a oil of fiery burning on a couple of you guys, too. Does that not count?
There only needs to be one fireball.
Made you all nice and
know-
toasty.
And I know I'm really important and everything. Why is my token big though?
Because you got enlarged.
Oh, okay.
And because you're really big and important.
Oh, okay.
It's mostly your ego.
Leva decided to inflate your ego, yeah.
Well, that's probably true too.
You're big enough to be a dance partner for our fire giant friend now.
He doesn't look too well, apparently.
Be careful, the girl might take an interest in you.
Better than horses.
Yeah, I think
So
she
you know,
got a little beat up.
She's looking a little worse for wear.
so who were these people that attacked us?
Bandits.
It's
Just bandits.
They were pretty clearly bandits, yeah.
They were
thought it
after our
was-
money.
I thought it was the Ockar fan club.
No, they were
Well-
off. They told us to give us all our stuff. Or give them all our stuff.
All right. Well, let's.
2 of them surrendered. We have to deal with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Yeah.
tie them up and we'll hand them to the authorities. And
Which authorities?
Take your stuff.
The ones that will enslave them instantly, or
That's
It's
the
not,
problem.
It's not technically enslavement, it's forced labor. It's
Yeah,
only
wait.
enslavement after they try to escape.
Well, we're
doing.
That's a weird distinction. Slavery is...
I mean,
Hey,
it's
hey.
forced labor since it's only a sentence of 30 years like the dwarves gives. But
Yeah,
after
we
they try
gave
to
those
escape,
fire giants to the dwarves, and you were fine with that.
yeah.
We don't have time to go back to the city where they wanted to eat us, because we're on a mission. So we either take them with us,
we
Or-
free them.
Or
or
we
we let them
actually.
go.
I give us
We
a
let
third
them
option
go,
here.
we take them with us, or we kill them. That's our
Uh,
3 options.
No, we
killing
got
them is
another one here.
something that we
Can't-
can
Hold
kill.
on.
Hold on.
Hang on.
What's this better option?
How about we tie them up and leave them here?
That's another option.
Yeah, we
That's-
I'd say we just do that.
we
we
let
don't have
fate
time to drag
decide
them
what
around.
happens to them.
There, take all their weapons and stuff, and then they can deal with themselves however they want.
What
And
about
if they're
for
tied
that-
up, they won't be bothering us.
That's true.
Does that sound like a good idea?
If that's what the captain wants to do.
Let's do that.
We'll just meet them again tomorrow.
Well, there'll be just 2 of them, so
If they try to come
Well,
after
I mean-
us, they'll be the ones that are sorry.
yeah. All right,
Hopefully
let's take
they've-
their stuff and tie them up. We'll do that.
Okay. So you start rifling through the bodies as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I will start treating injured people.
Okay. So on the remains of the smallest of the giants, you are unable to recover anything of value from the ones that got incinerated by the fireball.
Sad day.
But you do find on the remaining ones, including the ones that survived, that surrendered, you find a total of 40 large copper coins, 138 large silver coins, and 21 large gold coins.
Do
Right.
these weigh a
Both that
particular amount?
They
Just
weigh
the
about 10
numbers.
times the normal coin size.
Could you go over the coin size or the coins again?
40 copper.
Okay.
138 silver.
Okay.
And 21 gold.
Thank you. These are large, right?
They're all large.
Silly question. But those people that were incinerated, do they not have like gold melted onto the floor or something? The equivalent.
It basically gets destroyed. I mean, like,
Evaporated or something then.
well, scattered, blasted. You know, you might be able to find little,
Alright.
Shards.
little droplets here and there, but I mean, they got incinerated, so.
Melted into the ground.
Let's see. You do not find any coinage on the largest of the giants. But on the ogres, you find a total of 19 large silver coins.
19, you say?
Yeah, 19. And then on the figure that was clearly the leader of the bandits, you find that he had some coins as well. 5 copper, 25 silver, and 3 gold.
Got it. Thank you.
Let's see. So Solas, you're casting Cure Light on Gyatla?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does she not? She.
There we
I
go.
was curious to know if she would cast spells herself.
She does not have any curing spells. She's a wizard.
Ah. See, that distinction wasn't made.
Carrying
Yes.
magic missiles.
Well, she's carrying a large staff and wearing robes, so I mean, yeah, she could be a priest, but
Well, I didn't heal myself that much.
I'm sure there's some gods that have the core staff as their favorite weapon.
that is the case. Yes. Also on the leader, you find a one of his pouches holds a bunch of flasks and vials.
Interesting.
Oh, potion roulette. Fun.
Who else was injured?
A glass vial. Did you say there's liquid in it?
There's multiple vials. There is a ceramic flask. You find an iron flask as well. A glass vial filled with a milky red liquid. And another iron flask. All of the smaller giants, they had kind of a mixture hide and metal armor, but the leader had a suit of banded armor and a much finer spear than the others, and a much nicer shield as well.
How much bigger are? Sorry. Go ahead.
Wasn't the leader destroyed by fire?
I don't
Or
think
was
so.
he slain? Oh. Right.
In that case, how much bigger is this person compared to my normal size?
He's not as broad, but a little bit taller.
Okay, but are these weapons usable by me or somebody else in our group?
All of their weapons would be usable by your group.
Okay.
They're not so large that they'd be difficult to use. The armor would be
nice.
the armor would be impossible for anyone other than you. Whether you could wear it, you'd have to try it.
Might have to have it refitted or something. But it should be sized for you.
Do we seem to have a cat?
I'm
She
sorry,
just jumped onto me.
There's a spear and a shield, you said.
Yeah, and banded armor.
Banded armor, nice too.
Yep. You'd guess that they did not make this banded armor.
Okay, so those three things. Anything else?
Nothing that looks valuable or really worth your time. The giants had just hide armor, stitched together, throwing rocks, clubs. The ogres had hide armor and crude spears. Apparently, one of them had a squeaky toy.
Beowulf is playing with it. Or maybe
Okay.
maybe one of the giants is a squeaky toy.
Yeah. These headphones does have noise suppression.
Yeah, and all their gear and stuff. Did they have food and water?
They did not.
So their camp might be nearby.
I'll leave them with a little bit of rations, like a day's rations, and a thing of water.
Okay.
And once they're tied up, we'll move on.
Alrighty.
Do we think it's worth trying to find where their camp is?
We
It's
don't have a anymore, do we?
it's a diversion from our primary objective, though, isn't it?
Yeah, we need to keep going to get the captain's gun.
True,
made.
but I'd rather not be jumped by more bandits.
Yeah, me neither. Of course, there is the possibility that they might be somehow affiliated with the person we're going to meet.
If we run into more bandits, we'll take them out like always.
Oh, we could always ask the remaining survivors about the gentleman we are seeking.
I'm not sure we'd want to give them an indication of where we're going.
I propose that they show us their camp, or tell us at least where it is.
Okay.
I wouldn't be against that.
Yeah, we'd have to give them a reason to.
No, they attacked us.
Well,
Alright.
yes, but well, we'll try it.
I'll kind of go up to him, and I'll say, "Is there any more of you around here?"
Of the two that survived, one kind of huffs out and says, "No, we was all out here waiting for an ambush. Don't have no one else to turn to."
All right. So there's not like a camp of you somewhere else.
Nope.
That sounded convincing.
So very convincing.
Well. Okay. Anybody else want to ask him anything? If not, then I'll turn to him and I'll say, "We're gonna leave you here. Don't try coming back against us. You saw what happened the first time. Next time we won't grant you quarter."
You're
And
gonna
then,
tie them up though, right?
Yeah, we're tying them up.
As you're doing that, after you've done that, and you tell them that you're leaving them here, they're like, "You're gonna leave us tied up? That's a death sentence for us."
Why?
And tie them up in a tree so no wildlife will kill them.
We'll tie them together so they can help each other. But it will, in a way that it will take them an hour or two to get free, or longer.
Okay. That makes sense.
I mean, there's only two of us. Just send us on our way. Let us go.
We certainly have no reason to trust you on that.
We
You
are
haven't-
letting you go, just not right now.
You haven't given us any reason to trust to let you go. Perhaps if you were more open with any information you might have.
We're just bandits out here looking for easy money. What else would you want from us?
Well, certainly you must have someplace you go after you get your easy money.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's towns about. We go for some fun in the town, some drink.
And then where do you go after?
Well, we go looking for more travelers to ambush. But you can't just leave us here. Those animals out here will eat us.
I mean,
I'll give you a I'll give you something that might give you a bit of a fighting chance if you can wiggle enough out of those ropes. Ockar's going to take out 2 normal daggers, not really all that expensive, and he's going to place it next to each of them. That should help you.
He kind of glares at you. He pretty clearly thinks that you're being very condescending towards him.
They're bandits. But I am still. This is a chance. This is me giving them a chance if they have the know-how to get out of their bindings and escape at some point.
Okay, let's think about this again. So, have we encountered any wildlife out here that's been truly dangerous?
You saw some flying creatures that definitely could have been dangerous. Whether it could get down through the canopy cover, you don't know.
With all the corpses and blood everywhere, animals are going to find this place very quickly.
You think so?
Yep.
It probably wouldn't be good then. I'll turn
We should
towards
probably
the
move
giant
them
lady.
to a less corpse-ridden area so they have a fighting chance.
Well, I mean, if we're going to go through all this, then we might as well just let them go in that case. But
Yeah.
hold on one sec here. I'll turn towards the fire giant line. Is it true that they'll probably be eaten really fast out here? Is this forest dangerous? That dangerous?
She looks up from tending to her wounds and Solas tending to her wounds and says, "Well, there certainly are dangerous creatures out here who could eat smaller folk like you all or them. Whether they'd be able to escape from their bonds in time and get away, I really don't know.
Ah,
But it's also on them. They attacked us."
Mm. How about we tie their ankles together, and then we can walk off and leave them. They can untie their ankles.
yeah, just something to slow them down so they don't bother us again.
Yeah,
I don't think
that
they're
seems
going to bother us somehow.
that seems
No, I
a
don't
bit.
think they're gonna
That
kill us.
seems fair, and it makes sure that they don't die.
I mean, there's
And
only
maybe
two of
still-
them. So,
And maybe
Yeah.
still leave the daggers so that they have some kind of weapon.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, I assume you're not taking all of their spears.
Oh yeah, we'll leave them with a couple spears.
Just something to tide them over so if they do break out and go tell some people that some people came through or friends, that it'll take them time and give us time to get away.
Okay. Okay, so they grumble and curse at you a bit as you proceed to tie their legs together very tightly. I'm going to assume that you would also do this far away from their weapons, so they wouldn't just be able to reach a spear and cut the rope.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you do that and pick up any of the items that you want and start heading off. Is there any specific precautions or things that you want to do as you're wandering away?
Let's go in the wrong direction and then turn when we're out of sight of them.
All right.
Okay,
Sounds
that's
fair.
Why don't we
fine
just
with me.
blindfold them and just walk away?
They can still hear us where we're going.
Yeah, but that only works for so long.
I'm sorry, that only works with?
Only for so long. Until
And-
we're out of hearing range.
And a lot of people
Right.
can't track where somebody's going by sound.
Well, that sounded like a good idea of what Braxon said. Just go the wrong direction and then
Mhm.
change direction when we get out of sight.
Okay. All right. You get underway. You kind of make a circuitous route.
One more thing.
Travel a little bit longer than you had planned to.
Was there anybody in our group? I know we don't have Yeldon anymore. Is there anybody in the group that has any sort of woodland experience stuff that can do things like cover our tracks and such?
I have spells that do that, and that's per person.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody has a
No.
skill in that.
No. Braxon could chop a tree down.
No.
That's
Alright.
probably not helpful.
Well, then we'll just do the best we can.
Maybe has herbalism, but I don't think that helps.
Not with what he's probably asking for.
Mm.
I mean, Braxton could swing from tree to tree on his rope.
Okay, Tarzan.
Yes. All right. You travel for a few hours and then decide to set up camp for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Gyatla says, "I'm not. I don't know the exact location of where these rebels are, but I have a pretty good general idea, and I think we could probably find it by mid-morning."
Okay.
Sounds good.
It's getting dark right now, right? Or no?
It doesn't exactly get dark because
We're on a sun.
yeah, you're on the sun. But it is the amount of light does change a bit.
You know, I'm surprised to see a sun that has trees on it.
Well, we're on a handle that comes off of the sun. Is it like the rays of the sun move direction?
No, they just change in intensity.
Oh.
At least for where you are.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys set up camp. Is anyone doing anything, casting anything specific when for the camp itself?
Looking at my spells. What? Well. I could hedge us in, but I don't think it really matters when we got a giant, in all honesty. And plus, I'd have to memorize it tomorrow if I just keep it.
Solas has just mostly spent his time talking with Giatla and trying to learn as much as this place from her as he can.
Did Ockar heal himself from Solas's healing?
Leva gave him a temporary healing potion too.
Yeah, I'm not currently at my keyboard, but I'm going to do lay on hands and do the temporary healing potion. Can you handle that for me for a second?
Oh, yeah, all right. Did you add in any of the...
I healed Ockar by 9 HP.
Did you add those in?
Not yet. I was hoping you could update my health.
Okay, sure. So 9 hit points. All right.
8 from spell and 1 from healing efficiency.
And then if I need any more, like if I'm below half still, then lay on hands. If otherwise, not.
Leva is giving you a temporary healing potion, so I'll go ahead and have... Well, you haven't used lay on hands yet, have you?
No.
All right, let's go ahead and do that then. Since you're camping, you'll get it back tomorrow.
Okay.
That gets you up to 46 hit points, which is pretty close. And then you can keep the temporary healing potion, Leva.
One of them's going to run out tomorrow, so one needs to be used.
Thank you. I'll be back at my keyboard in a second.
All right.
See, the Gatya could use it, or Ockar, I guess, instead of the lowest two.
Yeah, I didn't heal Giatla much. Only take
How
your
injured
light
is she?
wounds and...
She definitely took some wounds, but she's not asking for help.
Well, it's a tiny little vial. I don't know if she'd even be able to drink it.
Well, if you want to offer it to her, she'll definitely take it.
Yeah, give her... I'll replace the temporary healing potion anyway, so we still got 7. So we just offer her 1. And, yeah, you know.
Right.
Old, is the ground and stuff around here, would I be able to attach like a string around a camp or no?
Attach a string around what?
Well, like
to rattle a
like
can or something.
Perimeter type thing.
Oh, like you want to? I mean, do you have anything like that to run around?
You need a lot of string.
Yeah, I guess I don't write down exactly how much string I have.
I mean, yes, you would be able to do that if you have the resources. I just didn't think anyone had such resources.
We've got some ropes.
Yeah, you need a lot to get a circumference.
Yeah.
Do you want a defensive barrier? Because I can make one. I mean, we're going to stick out like a sore thumb, aren't we? Where are we? Are we still in the forest?
Yeah, you're still in the forest. This place is pretty heavily forested.
I ask, is it Gatla?
Yatla.
How many how frequent are the flying creatures and how often do they sweep down?
She tells you that there are plenty of normal
uncommon?
birds and owls and things like that. Of the larger things, she kind of has to think for a moment, and you kind of realize that she's trying to put herself in your shoes to figure out what would be dangerous. And she says, there certainly are a number of larger things that generally don't bother my kind, but might see you as suitable prey size. Some of the smaller ones would be able to get through the canopy, but I don't think the larger ones would. They tend to stay towards the edges of the forest.
All right. How about this? I have about 110. No. So I have 260. I have 170 feet of that cave fisher filament
Oh.
that we could use.
You've been carrying that with you?
Yep.
Okay. You probably wouldn't be able to circle the whole thing, but you could certainly set up some tripwires.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Around the most what would be like the most direct way to get into the camp, I guess.
Yeah, especially open spots, whereas like other spots might, you would hope that rustling of bushes would alert you instead, kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you go ahead and do that, and then you guys.
We're gonna have a watch anyway, so.
Yeah. You choose your watch, normal watch.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than I do have to get my rest to refresh my spells.
I think Ockar,
Yeah, we can drop.
Braxon, and Higgimus can pretty much handle watches on themselves.
Yeah, we drop everyone out the watch that learns how to cast spells, which might cause us problems when Ockar starts casting spells.
Ockar, you're never allowed to cast spells.
All right. So you set up camp. You have a quick meal. Yatla pulls out what to you would be a considerable amount of food, but you kind of think of it as a light dinner for her from one of her packs, and kind of bed down for the night. Would you set up a fire or not? You certainly don't need. Well, you don't need to for warmth. Like the ground is warm. The ground, like just sleeping with a bedroll on the ground, will keep you warm.
And
In
we
fact,
don't really need light, do we?
I mean, fire keeps away predators, but attracts bandits. Keep away the monsters will attract the. Oh, actually, no, we're in a fire area. Most things are tolerant towards heat.
The light would certainly help, but yeah, you're not sure how it would affect the predators and prey and creatures.
The humans that are on watch. It doesn't really get dark, actually, does it?
No, it just gets it just gets more shadowy.
Yeah, we don't need it.
Braxon will be happy to lend Higgimus' lantern, which is shuttered, which you could open up if he hears anything dodgy.
Okay.
Don't you carry a continual light stone anyway yourself, Higgimus?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
You might need to get a mount for that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about next time we're at a town, getting it put on like a necklace type of thing.
Nah, mounted to your
or a chain. Get mounted in a chain or something like that.
Well, partly because I was thinking that it would still create light through your clothing.
Oh, really?
And it's something that only kind of occurred to me not that long ago. It's like, wait a second. I mean, Braxon needs to have a heavily shuttered lantern to block out the light, and you just are putting it in the pocket.
Well, I put it in a sack when I'm not using it, so...
Even
Sacks
so,
have got tiny gaps.
Yeah. You could just have a little metal tin to put it in, to be honest.
Yeah, just get yourself like a little tiny lockbox.
I mean, I'm fine by saying that you have a very thick wool pouch that it goes in, but I'd probably have to say that it takes you a little bit longer to get it in, put it away and get it out and stuff like that, because you got to make sure that it's fully sealed and everything like that.
Right. Well, that's not too much more difficult than trying to do a torch all the time. So,
I think Higgimus needs one of those hats like the Germans in World War One with a continual light stone on the top.
And he just shutters it when he's not, just want the light. Like a miner's helmet.
Higgimus should put it in his pommel of his sword and put a leather pouch on it to block the light when he doesn't need it.
I mean, the main thing...
I'll think of something.
Yeah, the main thing is that you'll need to come up with a way that it is prevented from displaying, showing any amount of light when you don't want light, kind of thing. And considering that you normally fight with a sword and a shield, holding that in your hand is kind of difficult.
Yeah, I need to come up with like a locket type of thing.
Maybe you could get it mounted onto your shield with a little cover, and then take the cover off the shield.
Yeah, I'll think of something.
Yeah, it's neither here nor there right now. Can't do it now. All right, so the night passes uneventfully.
Yay.
And the next morning, Gyatla pulls out a very large book and begins studying, while Solas and everyone else who needs to recover spells also does much the same. This book is... like, in her hands, it doesn't look that big, but it's probably, good 4 feet tall.
Leo could get lost in it.
It might hurt you if it fell on you, yeah. If she decided to throw the book at you, Leva, that might be the end for you.
Did we recover any HP resting?
Yes, everyone gets 1 hit point.
Okay, so I'm full.
I'll go ahead and update Ockar.
I'm casting armor once I'm at memorized.
Yeah, same.
You said my name?
Yeah, I just gave you your hit point back for the night.
Okay, thank you.
And after I have casted my armor, I will cast Endure Heat on our fighters.
Okay.
Yes, and Leo casts Mount. 4 pack horse.
Okay. Is that the only spell that you're going to cast?
Strength on who wants it?
The wolf. Clearly the wolf. Can you cast it on the wolf?
I'll take it.
Give it to Gatla.
All right, you have it.
That's true.
All right, so you got a pack horse. The spell goes off successfully, and strength. Who is getting it?
Ockar asked for it.
Ockar. All right. All right. Ockar is at 1850 strength.
1850?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so after finishing up regaining spells, having breakfast, Gyatla begins to guide you in the direction that she indicates where the rebels are. You find that it's kind of a the area appears to have been a dry stream bed, perhaps with a waterfall coming off the mountains. And she stops you some distance away once she figures it out where it is. It took a number of hours of searching, about 3 hours of searching. So it's late morning, almost noon. But she says to you, I do not know what is down there, who or what might be on watch, but if you decide to go in, I would stick out like a sore thumb. I can make myself unseen, but that is up to you whether you would want me to do that or not. In addition, I should mention that if you go in and call for a parley, only the most vile of giants would violate that.
We could
However,
shrink you.
they would see a violation on your part as a heinous act if they are true to their nature.
Mm-hmm.
We could shrink you to our size.
You say that as if Lever's got the spell.
Oh, Blubber, do you have the spell memorized?
I do, but it's not going to last long enough.
Yeah, and they might see through the magic and assume subterfuge.
It lasts 5 rounds per level, so that's even if it's plus 5, it's 14. That's 5 rounds times 14. That's not long enough.
She says, I would rather not if I can avoid it. I can do something similar myself, but you kind of get the impression that
I think we shouldn't.
being small would be very uncomfortable for her.
Yeah.
Well, if she wants to, then she can stay outside. Wait.
Yeah, I think she's helped us, and we shouldn't endanger her by taking her into a situation that we're controlling.
Well, I can make myself unseen.
Mm-hmm.
They would hear you. No offense, big giant stomping around.
Well, they are also big giants stomping around.
Yes,
You have a point there.
If they see through...
I doubt that shady stuff would be good for our intentions if we are going to parley with them.
Let's well, I don't think we'll break parley, but let's check on the rules of parley. If we ask parley and then either side doesn't agree with what's been proposed, what do people usually do? Do they separate for a certain amount of time before starting any sort of conflict?
Yes. Typically, the expectation would be about 12 hours minimum.
Okay.
How about we do the following? You wait out here for the moment, and we go inside, and then we tell them, we call for a parley, and then we tell them that there's another person outside who's waiting, and ask whether you're allowed in.
Out of game real quick here.
I think if they know of her, it might be...
Well, all right. Can you repeat that, Leva? I'm not sure exactly what your intention was. Can you tell me that again?
She stays outside, and we go in and call for a parley. And as they come, as we talk, we tell them that there is a giant friend of ours outside who is waiting because she's being polite and would then mind if she comes in and participates, or at least listens in.
Well, she says, well, there's no... I mean, chances are the parley would take place outside of whatever fortifications they have. That's sort of a neutral ground sort of thing. There's no real rule against me being unseen.
I think we should leave Getcha outside, because then she's our ace in the hole if we get into trouble.
Real quick question I have for everybody, not in game. What's the purpose of the giant lady that's with us?
She wanted to be with us. She wanted to get out and see things.
And she told you that she knew where this place was. You
So
would have been. It would have taken you a lot longer to find this place.
Okay,
sure.
so she shows the way. She's not like been directed to follow up or be with us.
She
or
may
anything
well.
like that.
She may well have.
We never.
Not at least
Not
according
directly.
to her.
She may well have. She's one of the 4 people in the leadership that when we had the discussion with the giant city, everyone else was thrown out of the room apart from her and a couple of other advisors.
Yeah, she's
So
the...
she
She's the apprentice.
she has been friendly to us, but she's one of the leaders of the camp that wants the leader of the slave rebellion brought back for punishment.
And
There
they
was
might...
this old woman there, and this old giantess there, and she's the apprentice to her.
Yeah,
They
she's.
might
Sorry, go on.
recognize her. I was to say they might recognize her,
Yeah,
or they
She-
might see through
Sorry, go
her
on.
the unseen, see the unseen. So I think she should wait, and we will come
Yeah.
back and talk to her.
Okay.
She did say to us, Higgimus, that which you would have known. She did say to us that she came without authorization, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's on our side. She could have said that as a deception, and she could be spying on us.
Okay, and then what's our goal here in general?
One more comment that she also said she'd be okay with what we decide, but when we questioned her, at least to Levi, it became clear that she hadn't really thought about all the possibilities that could happen. So she may not be okay with everything we decide.
Okay, and what's our actual goal here?
To get the leader to surrender.
Oracle wanted that we find a diplomatic solution for this slave rebellion.
Okay.
And
Well-
the Jarl wants the slave leader to basically surrender himself. And by doing that, every other rebel would get amnesty to return back to their fold.
Okay.
Braxon might want to have a chat about that once we leave her and go towards the camp.
Okay. I'm just trying to get caught up a little bit on this. Okay, so
Yeah, no worries.
the main goal is to have all these. I'm guessing this guy's trying to do like a rebellion thing
Yeah.
against whoever
Slave
the leader
rebellion.
is, the fire giants, slave rebellion, and the Oracle just wants all the fighting stuff to stop.
Yes,
Right.
because they're being the Oracle's people are being blamed for it.
Oracle's
And if
people.
we don't manage to bring a peaceful resolution, it might lead to war between fire giants and the Oracle's people.
It's
Well,
already-
So the goal is to just have everything stop, right?
Yeah, basically prevent a war.
I think, well, we were chosen as people that could help because we're not from the area.
It was because every side would have a plausible deniability.
Yes. So
we
were we to come up with a solution that was different from what the evil city proposed, and it didn't implicate the others, I don't think it would cause a problem for them.
But the Oracle might
Well-
not help us because what the Oracle wants is
Diplomatic
the te-
solution.
what the Oracle wants is the issue to stop being an issue, so there's the tensions stop rising.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, so-
unfortunately doesn't. Yeah, there's a lot of moral quandaries. We should probably leave Gatla and then walk to the camp and have our characters.
Basically,
That's-
Oracle gave us the task of preventing war between fire giants.
She told us to make the situation stop. So
Really? Okay.
Come to
I
resolution.
just want to make sure I knew what the actual goal was.
having
Overall.
having Gatla with us is not going to be conducive to finding out what's actually going on. So
Yeah.
I
The
propose we
moral-
leave her.
Go on the Lafdul.
I entered Sinrae, I didn't mean to, sorry.
I was saying I propose we leave her to wait for us and have our characters in character discussion as we walk to go parlay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can always try to enter another parlay with her with us later.
Did she say how she knew where this place was?
She said that her mistress knew the location, but was keeping it from the Jarl to prevent the Jarl's men from just coming out here and slaughtering everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, the wise woman didn't want basically
Unnecessary bloodshed.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. So, probably don't want them here. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we'll ask her to stay here while we go parlay or
Okay.
set up the parlay.
Does
how do
anyone
you
want to stay with her?
that?
I could.
Well, it's up to
No.
you. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to.
I mean, it might be good to have somebody stay to make sure she doesn't follow us unseen.
Braxon doesn't want to stay because he wants to be able to talk to the other members of the party.
Well, Ockar has offered to stay with her.
I can also stay with her.
Real quick, and why we don't want her there because she might cause tension.
She'd
Yes.
already suggested that she wouldn't come in with us before we came here.
Also, it might be best for me to
And
stay
we-
behind since considering how I was around those fire giants back in the town, I might cause an issue.
Oh, right. Okay, that might be wise. Cooler heads prevail. All right.
Yeah.
I'm
So
okay.
you'll stay
I'm
behind
okay
Ockar?
with staying or going. I can.
I just feel like it's best for me to stay behind so you can have cool heads there and not a bit of a hothead.
I understand. All right.
Okay. Out of character, it means you don't get to play for a bit.
It means
Yeah,
that
we
I
know.
can sit back and listen to you guys and not have to worry about dealing with
Okay.
bouncing
Yeah.
computer and phone.
Okay.
What's her name?
Yatla?
Gatla.
Yatla?
Yatla.
Yatla.
No, don't
Sorry.
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The fire giant. I'm gonna ask her what the procedure is for the part to initiate a parlay. And I'll get that down.
She says to you, well, if you go there and keep your weapons sheathed, not at the ready, not threatening, and then call out that you are there for parley, they will respect that. They may not. They may keep you in one place, and don't. If they have weapons out, don't take that as a threat. They may just be suspicious, but then
They're honorable.
the
They're
requirement is that the leader comes out and speaks to you.
Okay. And if they attack us, that's them breaking the parlay and all bets are off?
Yes.
Okay.
And certainly, if that happened, it would be strong evidence against anything that they might say to justify their actions. That would be, to my people, that would be one step short of outright murder, essentially.
Mm.
Okay. That seems like we have a plan then. What is our goal when we talk to this person? Just find out why he's doing this?
Well, we want to
From his
try to get
perspective.
him to surrender and come back with us.
Can we get away from Giatla so we can talk without
Yes.
either her or the other people hearing, so that we can have the discussion in character?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right. So Ockar's going to stay here. Anybody else staying with Ockar and the giant lady?
I'll be good. Good luck, guys.
All right. Let's go.
What if Lever keeps Tan with you? Because that way Lever will know if something's wrong with Tan.
That's a good
Is
idea.
it
Yes.
longer than a mile?
Is there a range limit?
Yeah, it's a mile.
You can stay within a mile. That's fine.
All right, I'll leave Tayan with you.
And I'll have Beowulf with me as backup.
No, it's just to make
I don't have
Lever
the
aware.
same- I don't have the same connection with Beowulf as I have with Tayan, so
Yeah. Okay. Well, have fun. Try not to screw everything up.
All right.
same to you.
I'm sure we will.
We'll
Yeah.
do our best.
With any luck, they'll attack us.
Yeah, that seems to be how things tend to go for us.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Let me actually get the map ready. Just a second.
Well, we need to go between Giatla and the people we're parleying with first, because Braxon wants to talk to everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so you start heading down or heading up the dry riverbed towards the location of their camp. Well, Gala would have told you that they're in a cave. So
Right.
there you go. All right. So on the trip, what kind of conversation you want to have? Do you want to start talking about
Well,
everyone?
Higgimus is Braxton's going to go to Higgimus and say, "Look, I couldn't say this while we were with the Jarl because we might have been eaten, and I couldn't say it after Giatla came and joined us. But I don't like what the Jarl wants us to do. I don't really think it's a good idea for us to try and capture the leader of this group and take him to the Jarl. I'm quite happy to meet with him and do other things, but I don't see why we should capture someone who's trying to liberate slaves and hand them over to someone like the Jarl."
We wouldn't be capturing anyone until at least those 12 hours have passed. So at least
Yeah,
then we
that's-
would know where we stand.
That's
Afterwards.
beside the point. It seems to me that this person we're going to meet is probably the good party rather than the bad party.
I don't know if there's going to be a good party here.
Well, maybe there isn't, but
Yeah, we don't know their motivations, and like I said earlier, there can also be the possibility that someone is manipulating this leader.
Yeah.
that's-
What
think
is this guy? Is he a fire giant as well?
We don't know.
well, we don't know yet.
I
But
don't know yet. Okay.
Only thing we know is that his name was
Antistophus.
yeah.
Oh, gee.
I agree.
There was real fast. There was definitely some intimation that he's one of the Smith giants,
right,
same people as the Oracle. It's one of the reasons why there's the tension.
right.
Gotcha.
Also based on what Jarl said, it seems like he would want to be the new ruler.
I think we can't trust a single thing the Jarl says, Sinrae says. I agree with Braxon. Even getting him to surrender, us meddling in this is going to do more harm than good.
All right.
But
So
if we do not prevent the situation escalating, it will lead to war.
And sometimes war is the only thing that can make a situation better. trust me on this.
War leads to
Messing with slave revolts in any
war,
way doesn't help anyone.
war leads to many innocent getting hurt, and also it would also.
Solas, how many slaves on your homeworld are there?
We do not have slaves.
In your culture.
Trust me when I say that trying to help a slave revolt might lead to more pain and more destruction than we're prepared to deal with. Any way we meddle in this, I fear it's going to be for the worse. Whether we help them or whether we hinder them, we shouldn't be meddling in this.
Well,
I have
hang
a
on.
very bad
So
feeling
you are
about
saying
this.
that we should just leave?
Well,
I disagree
no.
with that.
Hang on.
I think we can still talk to him, but I think this is beyond us, and I don't
Hang
think
on.
we should be meddling.
Well,
Hang on. The things at stake on this was access to an artifact to give to a dwarf, which might get Higgimus some metal for making his special gun. So we don't need that payment if it means us selling out.
I'm not in
hold on.
We could certainly explore the situation and see if we can do something that will satisfy everyone without handing Antifista over to the Jarl.
Yeah.
I'm not in this for the payment we are getting. I'm more in this for the quest that the dwarves wanted, the returning that relic to dwarves.
Well, we could find another way of getting the information we need.
Yeah.
We can get the information from the Oracle, and this is what the Oracle wanted.
Oh, I just realised something. Lever, you said you've got a spell that compels people to do or act in a certain way, i.e. less Aegeus. Could you not compel him to no longer lead this rebellion or something to that effect?
I don't think it will be strong enough. It's already the dragon only laughed at me.
That's a dragon.
Lafdul, I couldn't be a party to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's stop. Everybody stop. Okay. We're going to hear out this guy, see what, or lady, who, I don't know, the person that's leading this rebellion. They say it's a rebellion. Might not be a rebellion. Might be something completely different. We're going to listen and see what their actual motivations are, or what they think their motivations are. And it might be something completely different. It might be something totally different than what anybody else has said.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get all the whatnot to stop, or them to calm down. So it might be something as simple as like telling this guy he needs to stop, or what else would make him happy. So let's just figure out what that's going to be. And the giant lady said we have 12 hours afterwards to figure out what we want to do, or what our decision is going to be.
At least 12 hours.
At least 12 hours.
I mean,
so let's go talk to this guy.
Yeah.
For example, that's assuming that you would attack them or they would attack you, neither of which is assured. And certainly, if you decided now we're done here, then you could just walk right away, after the thing. So.
Yeah, Solas would object to any breaking of the parlay rules.
Yeah, well, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Plus, I mean, I know this keeps on getting thrown out. This is for my metal, the adamantite stuff. It's for the training on how, or not even training, the getting the item made that I was looking for. I mean, that's what we originally set out this way to do.
Yeah.
But also take into account, this is also to help that to do that. We're having to get these dwarves back their relic for their god. So we gotta keep that in mind too. That's something that's kind of complicated, the situation.
And getting that relic back to the dwarves would definitely be very good act.
No, it would. It would.
It would. But there's other
Depends on
ways.
how you get there.
Also preventing a war would be a very good act.
And-
Not
and-
necessarily.
Solas,
And,
I can't follow your
well,
logic.
Hold on. The Oracle's goal is to prevent a return to violence between her people and the fire giants. To a certain extent, she doesn't care what happens to these people, the fire giants, anything like that. She just doesn't want her people to go back to war.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So it might be a thing where we are the ones that instigate a war, and we're the ones that take out somebody, or maybe we have to assassinate the fire giant guy. Who knows?
Yeah.
But so we are the ones that get blamed for everything, and not this other guy.
Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense? That could be an option too. So let's not. What's a good phrase? Count our chickens before they hatch, or whatever it is. All right. So let's figure out this stuff. Talk to the guy.
I think a better
Find
one
out what
would
their
be
motivations are, and then we'll deal with it as it comes.
don't put the
Alright,
cart
let's-
before the horse.
There
Are
you go.
Let's
there
do
any
this parlay.
spells that or magic item effects that you guys want to make use of, potions or anything like that before you get involved here?
How long does detect magic last again?
Depends on if it's a wizard or priest. I believe wizard is 2 rounds per level.
Okay. That won't help me much to have to cast it ahead of time.
Mhm.
Yes, 2 rounds per level. It's not long enough.
I do have a.
I
do have a
have
filter
the
persuasive.
no alignment spell.
Would if they catch you casting spells, that'd be breaking the parlay.
I can cast it before we meet them because it's 1 turn
That's
duration.
10 minutes, so the parlay might take longer to set up.
True.
Well, I suppose you can cast it as soon as you start seeing them approach, but if we're surrounded by guards in order to make sure no funny stuff happens, it's going to be hard for you to get that spell off.
Mm.
I mean, I've done it before. It is possible.
Yeah, you could certainly try. You could cast them before you get there. You can try to position yourselves in such a way that you'd be less likely to be noticed, and depending
Yeah,
on the
you can
spell,
go
certain
back.
spells are more noticeable than others, so
Yeah.
you can always just try to take the risk. Yala did not tell you anything about casting spells during the parlay, so you do not know one way or the other.
Mm.
Okay. Braxon,
Uh-huh.
do you want to wear my ring of free movement?
Oh. You don't need it.
Well, I'm thinking that I'm going to be wearing my ring of fire resist and my ring of water stuff. So I'll have the ring of freedom movement, or that I won't be using at this current time. Do you want to use it instead?
Oh, yes, please.
All right.
Well, what rings
So-
do you currently have?
Got a ring of protection and a ring of warmth.
So
Go
which of
for
those
that
would
ring of-
you swap out of?
Yeah, the ring of warmth won't be any use to Braxon at the moment.
All right. And then that way I'll have be able to take my potion speed if I need to.
Okay.
Oh, does it stop potions of speed working?
I
Yes.
imagine so.
Any magical
Yeah, any magical effect that affects your
Any
movement.
haste.
affects your bodily movement.
So haste, potion
Slow.
speed, slow.
And that way you can just hop around if something weird happens. Um,
You would be protected
I don't
from
know.
magical aging.
Yeah, that's the best thing. It stops Lever making Braxon older.
Doesn't
Okay.
stop all forms of magical aging, though. That's
Also
all common.
stops Leva from making you twice as effective.
I think Braxon's vanity would know which one to choose.
Vanity's only good if you're alive.
That's true.
All right, and we're not telling anybody still that this is set up by the Oracle, right?
Yep, but the Oracle's name does not get mentioned.
Okay, and
Yeah,
why
we are
did we?
basically here on our own behalf, so to speak, so that every side has plausible deniability.
Okay, and what did we tell the RL? The reason why we visited him.
The Oracle said we could mention her name to the Jarl, but the Jarl only.
Okay.
So the Jarl
So he
knows where
knows.
we've been. Yes, because otherwise he wouldn't have taken us seriously or talked to us.
Okay. So we're not telling anybody else why we're here. All right. He would know. Okay. And
Well, we could say we've been to the Oracle, but let's not volunteer anything in there.
yeah, we're not going to
Yes.
tell him we're from the Oracle. All right. So why are we talking to him?
Get him to surrender, or to learn of his motivation.
We
I
can
don't
just
think
say,
we should ask for him to surrender.
Yeah.
Set
Well,
us
Well,
off.
no, we can
immediately.
relay the terms that the Jarl given. He might just.
No,
we don't
no.
know how he's going to
The
react.
We
question
can-
is,
we can-
when you go up and they say, "Why are you here?" What's your answer?
Oh,
we
I don't
tell
think
them.
we should say we're from the Jarl. I think we should say the Oracle sent us.
I think we shouldn't mention the Oracle because she told us not to.
Yeah, I think
Okay, fair enough.
I think our best bet we
Is that the Jarl hired us to be an intermediary? I can't speak.
yeah, since we are outsiders and we are looking to prevent any unnecessary bloodshed.
And we can be clear that we want to know more about what's going on before we decide if we want to continue helping the Jarl in this.
We're mediators. Okay. All right.
Mm.
Yeah, because we are outsiders, so we can basically
Yeah.
be someone that gains equally trusted by both parties.
But yes, but I do think we should be clear that we are not necessarily on the Jarl's
Yeah,
side.
we're just here mediators. Okay.
I think they're going to be hostile to. So
Well, yeah. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, but
That's what the parlay is for.
if we want to get anywhere, we should be as honest as we can.
Sluff's lies to keep track of. Plus, I don't think Higgimus lies that much.
Yeah.
Let's parlay.
Okay. I think we got it.
All right, so you're just gonna go up and tell them that you're mediaries. You're just like, are you gonna say
Yeah,
that you're
but-
here on behalf of the Jarl, or you just heard about this and you like solving problems?
We're those
I
good
mean,
kids.
that's
if
even
they've
more
got-
suspicious.
If they have spies,
Except it's not. Like,
if-
there's you're adventurers. Adventurers are known to just go around meddling things.
yeah,
I
like the
suspect,
second option.
I suspect they have spies, though.
We're here for our own selfish reasons to mediate between you two.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's not
Works.
lie.
I like the
Alright.
second option. I
Which
like the
was?
second option.
What's the
I
second
go
option?
with-
But we can
Go-
mention that we have already talked with the Jarl.
Let's go with what the captain decides and
Well,
on with it.
what was that second option, Braxon?
The second option is not that we are doing this on behalf of the Jarl. It's to say that we've heard this is going on. And we've
Okay.
come to find out if there's any assistance we can provide or something.
Let's not say assistance we can provide until
Okay.
we find out what's going on. All right, we're just here to mediate for our own selfish reasons. All right. Cool. I think we have a plan.
Okay. On the way, Lafdul casts the spell Idea, and Lafdul, what pops into your head is that more information is always good.
Yeah.
I I'd like to use for the parlay my etiquette
Okay.
of knowing exactly what we should be doing, so I can give Higgimus some hints if need be.
All right, go
We're
ahead
gonna
and give
work in
me a
tandem.
proficiency check.
Okay.
Okay. I'm probably gonna just use this as I will take that roll into account as you guys are talking to them, and add a potentially better light to what you guys say and do.
All right.
Okay.
Certainly warn you off. On the walk, which doesn't take too long, you stopped close enough. But you basically came here pretty directly from when you camped. The I'll stop you if anyone is straying into a point that this proficiency check would have kind of warned you off from. Okay. Let me go ahead and bring you over to the map. If I can remember how to shift you guys. So it should be the upper corner. You guys seeing your stuff? There we go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So it's basically down and to the right is where you're going.
Okay.
Well, we are going basically out in the open. Not
Yeah,
trying to
Braxon, make sure he's got all his weapons away.
Yeah. We gotta make sure all of our stuff's put away.
Are you seeing
Yeah.
something, Lafdul?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is anyone else seeing the same thing?
Yep,
I'm seeing someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
so-
seeing someone.
Person.
So as you are approaching, a figure stands up from behind a rock. He's got it's very similar to many of the bandits, the bandit leader that you faced. He's about 8 to 9 feet tall, and has a spear and shield.
Braxton's
And
going to wave.
he calls out to you, shouts out, "Halt and state your business."
Hail there. My name is Corporal Higgimus. I'm the captain of the Company of the Broken Sword, and we've come to parley with your leader.
He kind of seems to think about this for a few moments, and then says, "All right, follow me over here. I'll have to get him, but I'll need some people to watch you until he comes."
Okay.
All right, so he leads you. I'll just go ahead and hold on. I'll go ahead and just drag you guys all over there. Let me move you. Hold on. Don't move your guys.
Too late.
Oh yeah, do you guys have any kind of signal to send in case things go pear-shaped and you need backup?
Yeah, probably through Tayan.
I don't think
Tam bites you.
Tayan would have much. I don't think Tayan would really be able to do much in that respect.
If Tayan bites,
He could bite-
if Tayan bites my ear, I know you're in trouble.
Yeah, can he bite ears in Morse code?
No, he can't. He never learned Morse.
Well, if he just have him bite me, and I'll know that you're in trouble.
So, a two-headed giant comes out from behind the trees as you're led over, and another one of the same smaller giants comes forward. They converse in their own language that none of you know, and the figure that the guard that you spoke with, he turns to you and says, "All right, they'll be watching you. Make sure you don't violate the rules of parley. I'm going to get. I'll go to get Antistophus. He's our leader."
Thank
and
you.
he heads down this kind of stream bed towards a cave that appears that it was at the base of an old dried up waterfall.
Is there a rock Braxon can sit on?
Not really. There's a rock on the other side of the tree that you saw coming over here, but the bigger tree. But you're just kind of.
Yeah, but that's not the area we're asked to wait in.
Nope. I mean, you don't have to just stand in perfect formation if you guys want to move around a little bit or sit down on the ground or something like that while you wait.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
Braxton's going to find a place to sit down, so he looks less threatening.
Okay.
Solas will quietly chat with the Lafdul about what we have seen so far.
Sinrae is going to play a song because that's what she does.
I was not expecting an Essen to show up.
Anything else that you guys are going to do to prepare? Anyone wants to try casting a spell or anything like that?
Nope.
Well, I could try cast no alignment if there is a suitable cover for it.
I mean, that's up to
They're
you.
watching you. They're actively watching you.
Yeah.
They're also
think
watching
Fireball-
to make sure that no one is like trailing you coming into surprise, like while they're out of position and everything like that. So
Yeah.
they're trying to do multiple
I think-
things at once.
I think
Oh.
a fireball might be misunderstood.
Yes, I'll go ahead and use my bardic influence reactions just to get the people that are here feeling a little better about us.
That's specifically with like making speeches and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Like that's kind of a crowd working type ability.
Damn. Okay.
So no one is casting a spell? I mean, either
No,
it's successful or it's not, so...
Is the DM shocked by this?
Kinda, yeah.
I'll go ahead and cast Detect Magic just to see if there's anything magical about us.
Okay.
Yeah, I cast no alignment. If someone asks, I'm saying that it is just to sure.
They don't know. They don't know how magic works.
What I hear is truthful.
It might be construed as
You're breaking parlay if you're casting magic that they're not aware of.
Yala didn't
It might
say
be.
that it did or didn't.
Yeah.
You can try to be subtle about it. If they don't know what magic is, it could be anything. It could be hogwash for a
I mean,
certain
I
time.
would assume you're trying to be subtle, both of you.
Yeah,
I'm being subtle.
yeah, I'm basically being subtle.
all right.
I suppose Lafdul will draw attention to himself or something. I don't know.
No alignment is not the most obvious spell, if I'm correct. Since it doesn't require any spell components and such.
Where's your holy symbol, I think?
It doesn't require a holy symbol.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I don't know.
as
You
far
know.
as you know, neither of those spells was detected as you cast them. Certainly, they did not speak up, and the two guards on you didn't speak up and say something, try to interrupt you or something like that. Let me check out no alignment real fast.
Does have a saving throw.
Shame I don't have the gaming proficiency. I tried to get a game on with one of the guards.
I mean, you could still try to get a game on. It just means that you can't make a proficiency check to
I'm
see if you
sure.
win.
Do I know of any? Well, I've got like a card set, but I've been using the cards up now. So I'm 2 cards down, 52 set. I'm out to buy another set of cards.
You should get yourself a dice. Possibly a loaded dice.
He does have some dice.
Yeah. I got bronze die, but I don't think they're etched with numbers.
I mean, you
They just
use
say
dice
bronze
for your augury.
Oh yeah, they're very expensive dice.
How do you
dice?
How do you make loaded bronze dice?
Braxon's got a
They're
decent die.
Basically, you make the other side bit more thicker, heavier.
By filing down one of the other sides?
Well, you could hollow out and then cover the hollow out part the other side.
Do I? I would know some games, wouldn't I? I guess being.
You know a lot of games. You just can't use. The gaming proficiency just means that you can roll a proficiency check to see if you win the game that you're playing.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily interested in
knows,
winning. But...
Everyone knows basic gambling games that are played on taverns.
Yeah, no, I make the offer to one of the guards if they want to pass the time, so to speak. He doesn't have to drop his weapons. I'll move for him or something, if whatever.
The Etten is very like one head is looking at you guys, one head is looking elsewhere.
Oh, unfair.
The smaller figure, he grunts at you and says, "Antistophis will be out in just a few moments. Just I don't think we have time for something like that." All right, so
also tells me that it's fairly close.
Sinrae, you are not detecting any magic coming from either of them.
Okay.
And Solas, are you going to
give them evils?
Concentrate on each of them, or are you going to wait until the other figure comes out?
I'm going to wait, if possible, to check on the leader.
Okay, so you're not going to analyze these two. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, a few minutes pass, and you then see escorted by
an honor guard.
Well, not an honor guard, just some additional guards come out, and you see. When I find his description, I had it written down somewhere. So you see a well-groomed giant with skin like bronze metal. He's got a bushy black beard, and he's wearing the same sorts of clothing that you saw at the Smith Giants, Achiton and Calamus, which are ancient Greek clothing. And the clothing is kind of a coal black in color. And he is being... Well, with him are the smaller giant that went in to fetch him, and 2 more guards that are only have 1 eye. They're about 7 feet tall, and they all come to stand before you. And the much taller giant, he's over 20 feet tall. He dwarfs all the others, and dwarfs you, of course, and he stands, he crosses his arms before you and says, "You called for parley, I am here. Why have you come?"
Greetings. My name is Corporal Higgimus, and I am captain the Company of the Broken Sword. We came to this planet. Would I call this a planet, Ald?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Or
We came
world.
to this planet to get something, but we found out that we can't get it because of a disturbance between that the fire giants are having. And we've come to see if we might mediate some sort of resolution so that we can get our thing and leave.
Well,
And I'm here to find out what your side in all this is.
what my side is in all this? Well, my side is the side of freedom. I fight for all the downtrodden thralls that the fire giants have enslaved. They won't tell you what they do to their slaves, but they treat them horribly. I'm here to free them. And if you are righteous members of intelligent races, then you would join us. Throw off their shackles and overthrow the giants, the fire giants. Put them back and put them in their rightful place that they have done to all the others.
So you truly just want to free all the slaves that they have. That's your role in this?
Indeed, I do.
Thinking in my head here.
I mean, if anyone else has a
What-
question.
Yeah, anybody else has questions they can get while I'm trying to get my thoughts in order here.
What happens when you've freed all the slaves?
They'll be able to live their lives that they wish to lead.
Will you be trying to take over the Earl's position? Will you be enslaving those who've slaved you?
It is only rightful that those who've done wrong have that wrong visited upon them. That is justice. Solas, you are concentrating on him?
Yeah.
Okay, let me send you a whisper. Let me take a look at the spell real fast. Oh, right, he needs to roll a saving throw. Forgot about that point. Okay.
How do you propose to free the slaves?
I'll tell you in just a second. I need to write this up. He goes into kind of a diatribe about gathering the those who are already free to the side of righteousness and justice, rescuing those who have been oppressed, that sort of thing. It sort of seems practiced. And
Practice and is as in he's already done this.
no, his speech seems practiced.
Ah, right.
Practiced as in someone wrote the speech and he's just presenting it.
No, that he said the same thing before. I mean, you don't think he's like reciting something else, but this is sort of a politician. Like you're getting a bit of a politician vibe from him.
He must be evil.
Must he?
Must he? Being a politician doesn't mean you're evil. despite some real world implications. But
Oh god.
Braxon says, have you had any previous battles where you've managed to free a number of slaves without getting a lot of people killed?
People die in battle, But those
That's true.
the slaves who were slain in such fights, they died free when they attempted to overthrow their masters.
That's true as well. We have been involved in a couple of battles where we freed slaves. It does feel good.
What made you get involved in all this?
What made me get involved in all this? The righteousness of it. What is being done to these poor thralls is wrong.
What was the final straw, though? The final event that got you involved in it?
There was no final event. I saw the years of mistreatment by the fire giants of all these poor souls, and it was just the righteous thing to do to finally act, gather people together, and overthrow the masters. There is not
Overthrow
one
the
single
masters.
event that happens in such a case.
Do you not think that just revisiting slavery after freeing slaves is perhaps not the best way of going about it?
He looks to you, Sinrae, and says, "The righteous shall prevail, and the injustices unjust visit upon the downtrodden is rightfully returned upon them. Is that not what your philosophy also teaches?"
My philosophy teaches a number of things. That's not one of them.
More the pity for you, then.
Sinrae has bitten her lip because she's like,
Oh.
I am not going. She's like, not gonna say it. Not gonna say anything. Not gonna say anything.
Someone
You know
spoke
you
and
want
said my
to.
name. Who was that?
Yeah, is it possible to roll spellcraft check to know what at cost?
You can certainly roll it.
You should already
Whether it
know
will-
that it can be deflected or reversed, so to speak.
Whether it will reveal anything about this situation, you won't know until you roll it. So, yeah, you can go ahead and roll it. You are unsure, but you do think that some additional magic is involved. And Sinrae, I should mention that he is radiating magic.
Ah.
I will try quietly to basically get Lafdal's and Leva's attention.
You already have my attention because you were talking to me anyway, so sort of.
Real fast. Sinrae, you detect alteration, enchantment, charm, and some other mixtures of magic coming from him.
Interesting.
I will whisper to Lafdal basically what I learned from my alignment.
What language are you speaking in?
I'm speaking Elvish.
Okay. Higgimus, do you understand Elvish?
I don't think so.
Okay.
What languages do I know?
Oh, Leva's only recently learned Elvish as well. Actually, no, she can't speak Elvish. She can only read and write it.
I think she stepped away for a moment.
Oh, yeah, I know Giff, Goblin, and Common.
Okay.
None of those are helpful here in that
Nope.
situation.
Well, I will give you the information later.
I'll ask him, aren't you afraid that your conflict with the fire giants will bring trouble to those that What's the name of that first town that we were in?
That town was.
Actually,
Carcanos.
do I get anything? I've got a question regarding my no customs. In that, is there a would it be known to me if what happens if there is a rebellion that doesn't directly affect them, but it affects them because of their status? So, in other words, if there, say, this were to be played out, and there is a rebellion going on, how would the current slaves be treated, or the thralls, or whatever
That's
servitude?
not really a custom issue.
Hmm.
I don't see that as a custom thing. That custom is more like, do you never shake with your left hand kind of thing, or something like that.
Well, I was thinking that they might customarily just be, I don't know, put to even lesser status or something.
Yeah, that's not something that no custom would reveal.
All right.
To finish up my thing, aren't you afraid? Are you afraid that your what's the good word? I had the perfect word earlier. Your conflict with the fire giants. Aren't you afraid that that might bring in the innocent people of? I'll name that port town.
Carcanos.
Harkness?
Carcanos.
Harkness. I'm terrible with these names. Aren't you afraid it might bring them into this conflict as well? The innocents of that town?
No one is innocent in this world. They either stand with justice or they fall to oppression.
Sinrae is going to glance over over to Higgimus and sort of give a small shake of her head, sort of like indicating we should leave.
Yeah, Solas is pretty much hinting same.
Is there any way that we might be able to bring about a peaceful resolution to this conflict? Anything that you could think of? I'll ask the this giant guy.
If you could convince the Jarl to give up all of his thralls, restore them to freedom, and restore them to their rightful places that they were taken from, then yes, that would bring a peaceful end to this conflict.
This one. Do you think there'll be others?
Aren't there always?
Okay. I'll look to the rest of you. Any of you have any more questions?
Oh, you are breaking up on my side.
I am breaking up?
Yeah.
Am I breaking up for anyone else?
No.
You both sound good to me.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Does anybody else have any questions for these people?
No, I think we have taken up enough of this good gentleman's time.
Right, it would seem a bit suspect, so to speak, if... Oh, hang on, we've come here under the premise of just understanding the situation, so to speak.
Yeah.
We're not giving anything else away.
No.
Thank you for...
And what he would take as a peaceful resolution and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so...
What about this, then? What if we were... I suppose I would have to actually ask this, because there's no way of conveying otherwise. How do I want to word this? You would be all right with us giving out this message if we were to encounter any Jarls, so to speak? You know, the general premise of what he's saying. So basically, my whole point of why I'm saying this is so we can have like an exit, so to speak, so he isn't too suspicious of why we were suddenly exiting the conversation. Yeah.
The Jarl already knows my demands.
Would you be willing to compromise anything in this?
How can you compromise with those who are unjust?
Well, if they agreed to your terms, but excluding it for you.
You mean free the thralls, but not me? But put me in chains? Is that what you were asking?
That might be something that they would ask for, maybe.
That just strikes me as something that a request that they might make. They might compromise in that as long as your
As long as he surrenders.
rebellion ends with your life.
There would still be someone in chains, then wouldn't there? Well, I mean, if it ends in my death, then I suppose a noble sacrifice for the freedom of all those who are oppressed might be reasonable. But then who would be preventing those fire giants from doing it all over again? Now, have you thought of that?
You're
fear
honorable.
of
We
another
assume
rebellion.
that we assume that everyone's. If this parley can exist, then there must be honor. Then we have to assume that the agreement will be honored, just like this parley is. Honor and tradition. You have to wager on something, so to speak.
There might be superficial honor amongst those who are unjust, but is there truly honor amongst their kind?
Is he a different race? Sorry.
I mean, he's not a fire giant.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Smith giant, fire giant, are different
Yeah.
giants. I thought they were
You
the
don't,
same.
you don't know what type of giant. You've never encountered the type of giant that he is before. I mean, like, before this planet.
Yeah. Braxon says, thank you for very clearly explaining your aims. My concern with your objectives as a simple military person is if you attempt to free all the slaves but don't have a large enough force to carry out what you wish and ultimately fail, then you don't get your objective. Do you have everything you need in order to win against the Jarl?
Not at this time, which is why we have not. I have not moved against the Jarl yet.
Right.
I mean, right now you're seeing him, which his race does tend to be larger than the fire giants, but none of the other guys are.
I think we have perhaps taken up enough of the good gentleman's time, Braxon.
Yeah. Could we come back and discuss this again with you sometime?
If you call for a parley, but I don't know what else there is to discuss. If you do not see the righteousness of my actions, then I don't know that you ever will.
We're not. We're outsiders for here. We're just.
Perhaps we can discover some solution.
Yeah.
Well,
Bring
certainly
it
if
to
you
you.
have a solution or a suggestion, I'd be more than willing to listen.
Okay. All right. Well, we need to discuss with our party here. Thank you for your time. And if we come up with a solution that will benefit all, we'll speak with you about it. Or that could help your cause. All right.
Then this
and,
parley is at a conclusion.
Yep.
Yes.
And yes, and we will take our leave then.
All right, so you head back the way you came?
Braxton
Before
bows to them all, thanks them all.
Did you see what I wrote? That's something I'd be paying attention to because of what Solas told me.
You don't have tracking, and you'd have to go.
He's
back
pretty
behind
big,
him.
though, isn't
Well,
he?
yeah, but you'd also have to go back behind him. Like you'd have to. Like you might be able to figure something out, but you'd have to, like, actually investigate it. And you can't do that right now. I mean, he's standing there.
All right, no, but if all right, then I assume he's going to walk away first. Then
there's
us.
nothing so obvious that you can tell from where you are. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I just want to know if someone else is going to be walking directly behind him to ruin his footprints, so to speak.
I mean, they're standing around as you're leaving. They're watching you go.
Yeah,
Oh.
we are basically on their home turf yet.
All right, so you're all leaving?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
I
think that
guess.
is best.
Once we are out of their area, basically, that Solas is certain that they are not listening. He will relay the information to the rest of the party. So I will basically tell that he has the aura of evil, but there is something wrong in that aura. It doesn't match size.
And he is covered
What do you mean?
in magic.
What do you mean it doesn't match his size?
The aura of evil isn't the size of a smith giant.
Is it bigger, smaller?
Smaller.
And
Yeah.
and the types of magic he is covered in, he has changed himself somehow. There's charm, there's alteration, he's not what he seems.
Mm.
He's not what he seems, and this is
So I doubt we can really trust him.
His speech did seem kind of rehearsed, didn't it?
Yeah.
No,
It didn't
it
seem like
was.
it was all. It didn't seem like it was like a true thing. It kind of seemed not true, but that's not the right word. It didn't seem like it was a real impassioned speech,
No, it did.
like from the heart.
It did seem like that. It just seemed like
Said that 1,000 times.
he's
No?
said it before. If you had to guess, you would probably say that he's gone to, perhaps he's gone to villages of Ettins and these other, the Cyclops and stuff like that, and made the speech there to try to recruit people. That's your guess.
I get actually going by by the information we gathered. I think my running theory is that he is possessed. Someone else is leading, so that's why he was so willing to die, so to speak, because the person controlling him doesn't care if he dies.
Yeah, it does seem that he might be possessed.
To me,
Shame I don't have detection.
hold on. To me, fire giants are smaller than the smith giants, right?
Yes.
To me, what it seems like is he might be a fire giant disguised as a smith giant.
What was the size of the aura? Was it our
Smaller.
size, bigger?
Not
Human size?
no, not your size by any stretch. It was still bigger than all the other giants that were there.
Would I be able to assume that it was fire giant size or a different size?
You could try reading Gatla's aura to get an idea.
Yeah, that's true.
If you get back before the spell runs out.
It's up to you whether you want to assume that it is a fire giant size. There are other giants that are similar sizes.
Okay.
So
Well, I tell the group that it's basically smaller than a smith giant, but bigger than any other giant in the camp.
So I just want to be clear. If you're saying if you tell anyone that it's a fire giant, then that's not coming from me. That's coming from you. It certainly could be, but it also could be.
I'm not certain if it's a fire giant
Can
size.
it also be? Can it also be like another species, like even a human, who decided, you know what, I'm going to use magic to disguise myself as a giant and screw with these people?
No, the aura is too big to actually be a human.
But
Yeah.
if Gatla
unless
can-
there's some other magic involved to alter size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, he is either possessed by some evil entity or he is transformed into looking like a Smith giant.
He's definitely not what he appears. The amount
Yeah.
of magic layered upon him, he's not what he appears, and that's a recruit. Everything he said, those are recruiting speeches.
Also,
Whether he-
also the fact that he would not end slavery.
He didn't say that. He
He,
said
No,
he,
well,
he said
yes,
that he
just
would
reversing the
would,
roles.
Yeah, just reversing the roles.
Yes, and unfortunately, even if he was exactly what he seems to be, that's unfortunately not uncommon with slave revolts.
What we should ask
Um,
Gatla is: has anyone been exiled recently from that Jarldom, or because that
rival or
might
something like that.
be that could be the person he's doing all the manipulation, so to speak.
Yeah, because
There
this guy didn't.
there might be also the possibility that the wise woman knows who the
This
person
is
or entity is really.
You
Yeah, this guy-
you were about to say
Could
something.
we come back
Oh,
tomorrow?
hold on. You were about to say something, Higgimus?
This guy, he seems like he just wants to be the one on top. Yeah, he's using the like a slave revolt type of thing to try to put himself there.
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
think
Because
it's
it seemed
that.
genuine to me.
How
Yeah.
about we come back tomorrow and cast dispel magic on him?
That's going to be pretty damn obvious, Leva, if we cast spell magic upon him.
And
That won't matter if it turns out to be, for example, a fire giant.
if you ask for parlay and do that, Sinrae's etiquette, she would tell you that she believes that would definitely violate parlay.
What a
Yeah.
pity.
Yeah, and Solas won't accept violating parlay.
Okay, Braxon says, okay, you have some doubts about this guy, but let's assume, for argument's sake, that it is possible for there to be a slave revolt. Whether or not this guy is going to end up in charge is another thing. Is there anything we can do to make that happen? Is
Yeah,
that something
make
that's in our
slavery
power?
won't happen.
No, it's not in our power, and the amount if he had the amount of people to take on the Jarl, he already would have done it.
Yeah, if we caused the slave revolt to happen now, we escalate, it would lead to bloodshed and probably slaves lose.
Yeah.
We'd be responsible for the massacre of all of the escaped slaves.
We wouldn't.
Yeah.
We've liberated slaves before, died, and we're not responsible for them
There's
dying.
There's
The
another
slaves were.
angle. There's another angle here too. The fact that if this guy does rile up enough of the slaves to start like being a bigger threat, it's going to drag in the other giants as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the reason why I ask that is if there's a conflict between Antistofer and the Jarl, and we get rid of the Jarl, we end the conflict, we solve the problem.
That doesn't solve the problem.
We not necessarily solve the problem because the slave leader isn't clearly who he says to be.
Yes,
and he said if you're squeamish over the slavery thing, I understand that, but he said that he would just do slavery, except it would just be the fire giants in that stead.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
fine.
reversed.
And they
It's
would
just
be
reversed.
treated same.
How about, I mean, the original mission comes from the can I say it, from the Oracle. We go back to the Oracle and talk it through with her, because she did not mention that there was either somebody pretending to be something he is not, or being under the power of somebody else. Maybe she has an idea.
I
The
don't think
Oracle isn't someone we can just pester.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Also, that would take
What's
quite
that
a
got to do
while.
with? It's a problem she sent us out, and we found an unexpected angle in that problem. There's nothing that's pestering if we go back and talk to her about this.
She told us to take care of it and doesn't want to be involved. By going back and talking to her, we are involving her more. The facts of the matter are, we don't know the facts of the matter. This Hephaestus isn't what he says he is.
We needed to we need some way to investigate him.
He has an evil aura. Everything about this screams we shouldn't be involved.
She is an oracle. She can tell us. If she's a true oracle, she can actually tell us what's going on with him.
But
Levo, you don't just go bugging oracles. That's
All right,
not
well,
something you do.
It's about time
Also,
for our
oracles-
break. You guys can continue to discuss this, and of course we can continue to discuss it afterwards, after the break. But we'll go ahead and take our 10-minute break and be back shortly, ready to probably continue to discuss this, knowing you guys.
Kick ass and chew bubblegum.
Which is perfectly fine, though. You do have at least 12 hours before you can take any action against them, overt action against them. So you have plenty of time to discuss this with Gyaltla if you want to involve her as well. But we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so.